build my gallows and build them high. Makes a long time climbing before I die. I want the chance that's bit in his eye. Oh, well, they gave me bars, but I can see between to a dusty yard and long gone green. We call that freedom, if you know what I mean. And I dry my sorrows, but the whiskey's gone. I'm sober as a judge.
Hello everybody, welcome to Longbangers, Shortbangers. This is episode 9. I'm Matty. I'm joined tonight by, who will I start with? John, how are you doing tonight, John?
Hi, I'm alright. I wasn't sure if we were definitely recording there. I thought it was going to be an aborted start.
No, it wasn't a false start. The pistol went and off we went. Brian, you're also joining me tonight. You know that obviously, but the folk listening didn't they? So how are you doing?
Okay, you know me. As Gandhi once said, back once again for the Renegade Master.
That was his favourite song. That and you like that one by Steps as well. You know, the 5, 6, 7, 8 one.
Oh, of course.
Famous for it. This is karaoke number.
Couldn't get him off the dance floor.
Right, we've got a busy show tonight. 20 minutes on the clock. Loads of questions to get through, I think. So let me start my timer. And first question that we've got in came from Ronnie Young. He says, why were all Hibs supporters up in arms because Considine and Hanlon got called up and got game time playing in their preferred positions and Porto never got game time playing out of position? I think Ronnie's got a bee in his bonnet about this. John, why were folk annoyed about
Because it's been a bit of a quiet week.
that? Because there's
Could be
fuck all
annoyed
to
about
get
Saturday.
about. Aye.
Aye.
Did you watch the Scotland games?
No, I'm too cheap for the expensive telly.
Ah.
And I couldn't go to the boozer either, so it was fucked.
What about you, Brian?
I watched the games, but in terms of the question, there was too many words in there for me to try and process that, so pass.
So I think one of the things that I saw folk getting annoyed about was Considine getting called up. So he's not in the original squad, gets called up and gets played ahead of Porches, who was there for the start, which seems a bit weird. But then they did the same with Hanlon. It was good to see Hanlon getting his call up, wasn't it?
Yes, very well deserved.
Aye, and he did well when he came on. I wouldn't have thought he would have let anybody down, and he certainly didn't.
I thought Paul Hanlon was too powder puff to be playing for Scotland. Was that not what we were saying? What folk were saying last year?
Powder
he was
puff
past
and
it.
finished, and all the rest of it, and then he is
Aye.
getting an international call up, and Scotland get a clean sheet and a win. So
I'm surprised he wasn't running about sticking the fingers up at folk.
how do you know
Or
he
no one
wasn't?
in particular. Well, that's a good point. Maybe he was. I never saw it.
Aye.
Anyway, move on.
Right, next question. WTC 1981. Have I missed the Longbangers? No. Well, you might have done. How'd that care? I'm not following you. We never did one on Tuesday. We have got episode 70 to do, but we postponed it for logistical reasons on Tuesday, so that'll be on next Tuesday instead, so you've no missed one. The further discussion required on that, I didn't think, guys?
No.
Nope.
Nah, good. Right, moving on. The words ne'er read. Some username that. He said, if Jack Ross was a root vegetable, which one would he be and why?
Brian, you want to go first?
What's a root vegetable? What's
Like
the
a
option?
turnip or a carrot or a parsnip or, think along those lines.
I'd be a
No
carrot,
listing them
wouldn't I?
all. Why?
I don't know.
John?
Hang on, I'm frantically Googling parsnip to find out what that looks like. Oh, is that the one that looks like a fancy carrot?
Aye, it's like a carrot. A carrot that's had a fright.
Aye, so I kind of see where they're coming from with parsnip, where, I don't know, which one of you two said parsnip?
None of us.
Well,
Didn't
I
I
said
just
it
make
when
it
I
up?
was listing.
Ah,
when
right,
I was
okay.
listing vegetables.
So my immediate thoughts were Leek, because he's kind of tall and slender and he's just got that wee puffy hair at the top. And I've got no other justification for it. But I think Brian asked a good question. Like, what is a root vegetable? Because there's every chance I would have come out and said tomato or mispronounced something and got pulled up for it. So
Yep. Well, we're known for our highbrow conversation on this show. I'd say be a turnip because he looks like quite a hard bastard. And as we're approaching Halloween, if any of you have ever tried to carve a turnip, everybody does pumpkins now. Did you do turnips when you were wee?
aye.
No.
No, you never. So you want to try it with your daughter or something, Brian? Rather than getting a a pumpkin, which is all the rage now. When I was wee, you made a tumpshay out of a turnip, and you had to scoop it in the middle of a turnip. And if you've ever tried doing that, it's one of the hardest things I can go on. I think it's easier to kind of crush rock into diamond than it is to scoop out a turnip.
This is
Right.
comment. We just do severed heads.
Oh, I shouldn't I?
I was going to say, Brian, did you not grow up in an ultra-religious household? Did you celebrate Halloween or?
No, my mother never found God until about 10 years ago. So I'm no longer allowed to dress up.
Not at all.
How long was she looking? How long was she looking for?
I don't know. I think she was looking in the non-fiction aisle in the library. So, you know.
Aye.
You're not going to find God, are you?
Me, no. I certainly hope he does not find me.
The podcast will be doomed forever. We'd all be going to the bad fire. Right, Jordan and Hibs, worst and best South Americans to play for the Cabbage.
Wow.
Right. Nelly Furtado has to be the worst, surely.
Yeah.
How many South Americans have we had? I can only think of two off the top of my head.
Right. Furtado.
Best, Georgie Claros.
Aye.
Oh,
Claros, De La Cruz.
De La Cruz, I was thinking would have been the best, but that's because I forgot about Claros. Claros probably did more for Hibs. Arguably did more for Hibs.
He never got 2 Derby goals, did he?
No, and he never got sold for, what was it, a couple of million?
Aye. I'm sure it was a record sale at the time, wasn't it? De La Cruz.
De La Cruz never got shot in the head, though. So,
Aye, that's true. So by default, then.
gangster.
I like Claros. He's one of my favourite types of players. So we've covered this before in the podcast. Just that week, you're running hard type of player. No nonsense.
Came for the mean streets.
Right, Cal Chalmers, 1875. How many times has Brian actually shat himself in public?
Oh. Public. So, not in the house or in my own bath. This is like properly public.
Yeah.
Right, let me hold on. There was that one. Take away that one. That one doesn't quite count. That was in the back garden. 11, I think.
It's a decent return. What about you, John?
Sorry, what was the question? I was.
How many times has Brian actually shat himself in public? So obviously you can't answer that question because you didn't come. Well, you do know now because he's given the answer. But if we replace the word Brian for John, how many times have you shat yourself in public?
I don't think I've ever shat myself in public, but I've definitely found myself in situations where I've maybe not wiped my bum properly and it gets that wee bit sort of sweaty, squidgy.
Amateur.
Yeah. Aye.
I feel like you're not doing it. I feel like I'm missing out. I've never done it, and I feel like I'm missing out. Aye.
Trust me, you're not.
No.
You are not.
Right, next question comes to the guys at Hibernian Retro. Should the club bring back Hibs popcorn once we're back in the stands? It was green and white, if we remember correctly. It was Hibs popcorn. We're having some of that.
Why not?
No, well, maybe if the catering gets sorted out, I'm going to give it a chance. I'm going to say yes and give it a chance.
Is
But-
popcorn an acceptable football snack?
No, but
More
we are.
so than
Well,
kale.
We're getting any Hibs related kale in. That's what my guinea pig eats. We buy loads of kale. Is the guinea pig? That's a shite story. I'm glad I shared that one with everybody. Right. Next
Animal
question. Right, Liam Fogarty. I'm sure I saw Tom English tweet in 2018 that Hibs should accept 1.5 million for John McGinn. Which part of his anatomy do you think 1.5 million could buy today? I think he's been in John McGinn's anatomy, not Tom English's.
I think you would get John McGinn's arsehole for 1.5 million. I was going to say his arse.
Actual middle bit.
Just the middle bit, just like the mint in the hole. Because his bum cheeks themselves have got to be worth at least 15 million a cheek.
Aye. Brian?
His eyebrows.
I think I'll say his beard because his beard's no very good. There's a lot to like about John McGinn, and I speak as a fellow non-beard grower. Like I can not shave for months, and unless you're near me, you can't see there's anything there. John McGinn's beard was a bit like that as well. So I reckon 1.5 million just because it's on him, you could get his beard, and that's
I
it.
disagree. I think since he's moved to Aston Villa, I think he's gone through a wee bit of a Rory McIlroy transformation. Like I think he's maximising every single bit of himself, including the patchy beard and the curly hair.
You
Yeah,
are
Bruce.
one creepy man. Like
I just like to talk up the boys.
not
Right.
just talk up by the sounds of it.
Keeping on the subject of Super John McGinn, David James McNiven, how many caps will Super John McGinn end up with? 50, 75 or 100? Or any in between, I suppose.
What age is he?
Still
That's
early
John
20s,
McGinn,
I think,
not
isn't he?
the listener.
Oh, frantically
100
Google.
at least.
So, well, there's loads of international games now, so if he stays fit, he could be at the higher end of that.
Yeah.
He's 35.
I'll say
How many
100.
caps has he got? Anyone know?
50.
Dunno.
Fucking hell, am I going to have to Google this again?
He's
See,
just
you
got his
only-
50th cap.
You only get one cap now, like an actual physical cap. I read this on Hibs.net earlier on. What happens? You get one physical cap no matter how many internationals you play, and then when you play, you get two shirts. So one for you to keep, and then the other one the rest of the team sign, and you keep that one too.
Well, that's a lot of shite, isn't it?
Well, that's true. But, or to the
Well, no,
best of
I'm
our
not-
knowledge,
I'm not-
like, you
I'm
can
not
call me
saying
out for it
that-
if you want, John. Like, but
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying that the act of giving one physical cap is bullshit.
aye, like
Imagine pulling on the the dart bowl of your country 125 times, say, and fucking Stuart Regan or whatever his name is comes along and goes, "There's your solitary cap." You would boot him in the boss.
well, do you
How
think
did you
though?
get a strip?
You think like for the practical terms, you're not going to wear it, are you? It's not something you'd kick a boot in for a start. So if you had a massive international career and you just end up with loads of hats, like that's no use to anybody, is it? So probably better, more practical, just to get them one.
Ken, who it's of use to is the football memorabilia collectors. They would want them.
Aye, or thieves.
Thieves, vagabonds, crooks, aye, whatever you want to call them.
Peaky
Ambos.
Blinders.
Aye.
Do you imagine John McGinn cutting a bit with fucking razor blades and he's one cap?
I'm imagining Tommy Shelby walking through the streets of Birmingham with a Scotland cap on.
And a Super John McGinn Villa top. Right, next question. Kaiser Soze, if you were to sum yourself up as one meme only, what meme would you be?
I'm going to go for big Shaquille O'Neal giving it the old shoulder shuffle and the cheesy grin.
Ryan?
Oh God, I don't know. In fact, can I sum myself up in a GIF?
Aye.
It would be Jeffrey, the butler from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, where he's just at the sort of the island in the kitchen, just fist pumping in the air and just grooving to his own tune.
I think if I was a meme, I would probably be Leslie Nielsen in Airplane with I am serious and don't call me Shirley line. About sums up the level of my jokes. Aye. Right, Leon, what's your guess on who will win Hibs Player and Young Player of the Year at the end of the season? Ryan?
Nisbet Player of the Year, Young Player, Darren McGregor.
John?
Nisbet's got to be with a shout at doing both, Young and Player of the Year.
Could do, aye.
Tiggy Tripod possibly getting Young Player of the Year if Nisbet takes the full honours. Depends on how many games he gets. Try to think what else we've got kicking about in there.
Do you think Porteous still counts as Young Player? He must do, eh?
I don't know. I've always had my reservations about that. Like, see your established players. Like, if you've had, I don't know, say you're 19-year-old and you've already got 100 appearances under your belt, can you still qualify for a Young Player of the Year?
Well, I suppose surely goes with your age, does it not?
If I was to go with a bird at 19 that had 100 previous partners, she's still young.
Right.
I don't know how that analogy works on Sky Sports, but
Sounds like a Charlie Nicholas analogy.
You'll never hear Graham Souness talking about that.
What is Richard Keys up to these days anyway? Him and Andy Gray. Right. Aye. Porteous and Nisbet would be my guess for those. Either way around as well. Right. Scott Miller asked, how long can Hibs survive without income from fans at games?
Forever. Ron Gordon is minted.
Deep pockets.
Decades.
I think there's no way answering that question. We didn't Ken. Hopefully they don't have to for too long and they get some fans back at games soon. And by the way, did you see they were looking to get Sky to give away the Old Firm game for free to stop folk travelling for it? What fucking nonsense that is. Like I kind of can sort of see the logic to it, but I just ask them to behave. Don't go bending over backwards to accommodate them. Just say behave yourselves.
Or don't show it.
Or don't show it. I could just don't show it at all. That would be that's a
Brian, you should be in charge of the country.
90 minutes of songs of praise.
Could you imagine?
That's a much better idea. Right, Kunster, if you were allowed to go to Easter Road next home match, what cafe would you recommend to go before and after the game? Because the pubs are shut.
One in Amsterdam.
Oh. Have you ever been to Barney's in Amsterdam?
I've never been to Amsterdam.
Oh,
you should
good place,
definitely
Amsterdam.
go. Barney's won I think it was the High Times Award 4 years in a row. It's a good place. Cafe 275 on Easter Road. I believe the T is pronounced. It's not silent. Is that? I need to ask. Do any of you guys know if that's the one at the top Easter Road? I think I've maybe been in there. It's like a wee sort of artisan place, pastries and coffees.
Do I look like someone that hangs around at artisan cafes and that, John? It's like Father Ted with a croissant. Like,
I don't know if we were to stick a wee bit tweed or something on you, get a wee bit hipster, be all right.
Well, I'll say if you get a coffee in Robbie's bar, that's where I would go. Right.
If you went to Robbie's bar and asked for a coffee, you'd get fucking glassed.
No, it's just so they can qualify as a cafe. I wouldn't have a coffee when I went in, but that's where I would go.
Yeah,
If they sold a coffee, they could open.
Can you? How do I put this? Somewhere like Robbie's or Joseph Pierce's or whatever. Say they can't serve bevy, or they can't serve bevy at the moment, right? Would they qualify as a cafe if they were just to do like a cheese toastie?
I have no idea. Honestly, couldn't tell you how it works.
Pubs of Leith and Edinburgh, the Lothians and beyond. Just get a wee Breville, you'll be fine.
Yeah, Breville and a wee coffee machine.
Aye.
Job's a good one. Right, Stuart Wilson, if you had to pick a fives team from all the players that played for us in the 90s, is Jimmy Boko the captain or vice captain?
The fuck? I'd like to think that Jimmy Boko would be the sixth, like the roll-on, roll-off sub for every time they got knocked out and needed to be replaced.
Who's your five?
The 90s were a long time ago. Tony Ruggier.
Gorham.
Put him in.
Taryn
Right.
Jackson.
Gorham, Jackson.
Kevin McAllister.
Pat McGinley has to be in there. You always need a runner in a fives team, and Pat McGinley is that man.
Keith Wright.
Aye.
You got a defender, eh? Willie Miller.
Well, he stayed in my street for a wee while, Willie Miller.
Did he?
That's interesting, aye. He did. And there was Keith Wright wasn't far away from us. He was at Brunston, and every now and again Gareth Evans would be at a house across the road for us. I think if there was any shagging or that going on, but we saw him there sometimes.
Are you saying that there was a gay three-way amongst some of the most popular Hibs players in the 90s?
No. At the house that Gareth Evans was visiting, nothing to do with the other two players. I should stress that. And it's just conjecture. Right, Alan Tennant. Just how good is Kevin Nisbet in a Jim White type voice? John, you
Very
should
good.
start that because you've kind of modelled your look on him. We've noticed.
On Jim White?
Well, no, Kev, Tunkin Nisbet, Curvin Nisbet.
Fuck, I don't know what Jim White sounds like. What was the question?
How good is Kevin Nisbet?
I think Kevin Nisbet is outstanding and he's got heaps of potential to fill. he's a very well-rounded striker, like myself.
Brian,
I think John's a very well-rounded man.
he is.
But
Right.
Kieran Nisbet, very good.
Mark Cochran, should Greggs or Baines do the catering kiosks at Easter Road? No, Stevens and Baker should.
No,
That's
do you know-
even up for debate.
Baines and Stenhouse should do it.
John,
Nah, no Stevens. I'm going to go against the grain here and say that when I went up to East End Park, I think it was when Heckenbottom was in charge, and I had one of their so-called
Here he
famous
goes
steak
again,
Fridays.
another Heckenbottom story.
let it go, let it go.
The steak Friday was it was average.
What?
So I'm going to say because I've not sampled Alan's Bakery on Wrestle Rig Road, his pies or pastries. I'm going to say Stories because their chicken curry pies and Empire biscuits with the green jelly tots are outstanding.
I don't think I've ever been in there before 2 a.m.
I think anybody has. I don't even
No.
know if it's open normal hours.
No.
Well, by that I mean like sort of daytime hours. I'm not talking about 60 minutes, like a normal hour. they didn't change time measurements when they're open. Oh fuck! There's the timer. We've still got loads of questions left. Right, we'll
Keep
get
going.
a couple.
Start the timer.
Right. Okay. Next question. 150k on Hanlon Hill. Tartan sauce, red and brune, in a lattice formation on your half-time pie? Question mark.
Brown.
He's talking about mixing them as a
No.
in a pattern. It seems
Yeah,
like a bit of a faff, but well, you're not mixing ketchup and brown sauce, surely.
No.
I would. If someone asked me to mix my sauce, I definitely would. But
Quickly, John.
you can't do that with the sashes. Anywhere that
What are you eating?
comes out the sashes. A Satsuma.
Sakes. Right. Right. Cal
You need the
Chalmers.
bottles. You need the bottles.
Cal Chalmers, 1875. Has Hearts' fantastic start to the Betfred Cup had a positive impact on the exchange rate for the maroon pound? Yeah, right. Next. Right, Spunky Hearts Bassas said, if you were to be offered something illegally free, what would it have to be for you to want it?
A shark.
What? A shark?
Shark.
I'd want a tuna-friendly dolphin. In that case.
I know what people are expecting me to say here. And I'm going to go against the grain and add a bit of eloquence and intelligence to the show. I'm going to say a whale's head. Because it's illegal if a whale washes up on the shore in Edinburgh, Scotland, for you to claim it. The Queen gets first dibs on the tail and the King gets first dibs on the head. But as we don't have a king, the Queen would then have first dibs on the whale's head.
So you just want to deprive her of that?
Aye, that also extends to sturgeon as well. She gets first dibs on any washed up sturgeon. But whales are bigger than sturgeons, so I'm going to go for a whale's head. And I know everybody was expecting me to say something with Pablo Escobar, but no.
I thought you were going to say that Nicola Sturgeon had first dibs after the Queen.
Aye, I thought it was where it was going there as well. It's like, that must be quite a recent ruling.
Well, you'll make this a bit more highbrow. Come on.
You'll need to
It was
forgive me,
appreciated,
Brian.
Brian.
I'm not as familiar with the anatomy of a whale as you seem to be.
There was
But how do you remove a whale's head? Is it not sort of like a roundy, sort of rectangular shape?
Hacksaw.
Karate chop it. There was I think a whale washed up at Porty Beach, wasn't there? This week.
We shagged it.
Now, would you do that through the blowhole or?
Either way, I
Right.
would not touch a sight.
We'll move on. Hy-V's Alan said beans used to mean Heinz, then Branson beans came along. What's your baked bean of choice? And we need to answer these quick because we've got a few more to get through.
Heinz.
Store brand, tight fisted.
Hibs beans are the best ones. Right, McClendo, how does it feel to be the third best Hibs podcast? Yes!
Fantastic.
Self-proclaimed third best.
I don't think I've been prouder of anything in my life.
Aye, I thought actually we're quite lucky. Even if we reach the dizzy heights of the third best, we'll be doing well. So, McClendon, it feels great. Thanks for your question. Some Dick right here, Brian Dickey. Describe your fellow podders in 3 words.
Oh God, Matty in 3 words. Positive, intelligent, patient.
Aye, a damn good liar. That's what I'm going for Brian.
John, Curvy Kevin Nisbet.
Aye. Tall, dark, and handsome. I think that fits all round. And another damn good liar. Right, this will be the last question. So I'm going to pick a decent one. Have a look through them. Right, imagine you're in Stories. This is from Will. Imagine you're in Stories at the end of an all-day sesh after the Darrell Horgan derby, and you've got £3 left. What's your order?
Can of Coke.
John?
A can of Coke. I've only actually been in Stories, and they've done this. The only time I've ever seen it was a pie with mashed potatoes and baked beans on top. It was the greatest night of my life.
Wow.
Well, not the great, but it was up there. Top 5.
I've got a sort of American pie sort of vibe going on here.
Kind of what I was thinking. Pie in a roll, Scotch pie in a roll. That'll do me. Right, that's us for Shortbangers. I've got to go and pick up my daughter for the train station. So thanks very much for listening. We'll be back on Tuesday, I think, if you guys are available to do Longbangers, and then back again next Thursday for another Shortbangers. Until then, stick in, glory to high bees, etc. Cheers for now.
Well, they trailed me down when I broke free. I drank all the whiskey in Tennessee.